Hey, 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 and surprise, we are ready for the podcast that is coming to you in our usual Friday session. Only I have just got back from the land of the island of the gods. And boy, oh boy, this has been a real reality check for me today. And I guess it's purely and simply because environment is such a huge part of our lives and the way we feel, our energy, and all of those elements. And I'm teaching on this every single day. So, I had to ask myself the question this morning if I can just get a little bit up close and personal with you guys for a moment. What is it that I am truly yearning for, since I have been in a third world country and for 1 month I have just been vibing on four cylinders. I've just been feeling so good. And do you like the way I'm putting these things into the past? Almost like today is the big boom reality check. Well, sometimes it really goes to show, and this is very relevant to what I'm going to be talking about today on this podcast, and that is that money doesn't always buy happiness. However, it certainly helps. Like, we do require finances. We do require wealth to be able to do the things that we love and what we want to do. And what I understand is, in the third world of beautiful Bali, Indonesia, this is a place and a space where I really feel safe. I feel as if, even though we get called here in Australia the lucky country, I feel that they are so blessed, because almost with the fact that they have very little, they rely on our tourism. In fact, God only knows how they got on during the epidemic where COVID struck, because Bali really does heavily rely on the tourism. And, I came back at a time when they're still recovering. But, they're still grateful people. They are some of the most grateful people on the planet Earth. And I think that's why I love it so much. They also have this profound sentiment on service. So if you've ever been to Bali, you'll encounter these incredible experiences where they make you feel like you're a king and a queen. I mean, where else can you go where you'll be able to walk in? And I know on the night before I left, I had a massage, you guys, with 30 fingers. Now, let me explain. Firstly, it was a beautiful salon. They all smile, they're happy, they can't wait to serve you. And when they're serving you, they always want to do the best. And it's always about those extra elements. They go the extra mile with everything. They're always smiling and they're so grateful, and they just can't wait to give you the best experience. Now, I wonder if there is some correlation in that makes us compelled to want to buy from them, that puts that feeling of energy inside our spirit, that if this person is so dedicated and so committed to what they are offering me, maybe I need to buy it. And the reason I'm saying that is because today we are going to be really showcasing something that belongs in my Royalty Elite crown. So it's a very special episode on opening and closing sales. But coming back to my story, whilst I was in their salon, I was having this luxurious head bath where you're laying back in this seat and you're having the most divine massage. Then you're going to another seat that's so comfortable. You've got three people around you. This is what happened to me. I had three people surrounding me, and one was layering up my hair or my locks with this cream bath, right? And it was just incredible. Like these hands on my scalp, just rubbing in like I've never felt in my life, just bringing all the blood circulation to the forefront. Meanwhile, I've got another person on my hands and my arms, and they are pampering my fingers. They are massaging my skin, whilst I have a young man doing my feet. Now, this was the most sensational feeling of, every part of my foot just experiencing this sensation of great strength. And the feet are the whole representation of our body, just in case you didn't know. So it's a symbol of our spine, our head, and all the different, elements, especially if you are familiar with reflexology. And this guy really knew how to get his fingers in and really, really just hit hard on some of those parts of my feet that at times did hurt, but mostly felt so incredibly blissful. And, I remember having this thought going through my head of, I don't know which part of my body to focus on, whether I should focus on the feeling of this beautiful massage on my head, this pamper that I have on my arms, or this incredible massage on my feet. But, no wonder I miss this place. Everywhere you go, you are treated with such high regard. I mean, yes, you have those hawkers on the street that, they're hustling and they wanna bargain with you, right? And it almost is a game. It's like a playful game. Now, guys, imagine if we adopted some of their spirit. I can tell you right now, as we're ready to go into the art of opening and closing sales, that if you had the same conviction as these people in Bali, and you were ready, willing, and available to know and to deliver the greatest service, and you were so dedicated to it, and that involves, here's another part of their nature. So remember, I'm all about observing patterns, character, and the way human behavior actually lands. But the other part they have that is so incredible, and I believe is relevant to this topic today, and that is the ability to be present. Now, it may seem like a very simplistic thing because, it's just about being present. I mean, what do you need to do to be present? But, when you treat someone and you're talking to someone, and when you are making eye contact with them, when you are speaking into their life, you are making them feel like they are the only person in the world right in that moment that you are focusing on. And this is exactly what they have. This is more than just presence. This is omnipotent presence. So if we could develop this gratitude, this service that goes over and beyond, and that dedication with that omnipresent spirit, how much impact would that bring to your business, to when you want to make a sale? But, I deal with quite a number of coaches, healers, and leaders who are really stuck on the part where it comes with the transaction of money. And, one of the prerequisites I always say to people before they can come into my container is, you need to make sure that you're not just in this for the money, right? If you are just wanting to make money online because this is going to be a multi-billion-dollar industry, I'm not your trainer. I'm not your coach. I'm not your mentor. But you know what? If you are dedicated, if you are passionate, if you are convicted, and if you feel like every show, every episode of my podcast, we always bring on someone who has a different gift of genius. If you listen and you subscribe to my podcast, Terry Messenger's Genius Zone, every week, there will be someone guaranteed that will be able to deliver you something better than what you can. But maybe if you have something that you know, and I know you do, right? There's no question. I know you have something special inside you. And if you want to bring that out, then we need to talk. So you can DM me. But, I'm bringing myself here on the red carpet again this week, even though I'm not really dressed for the red carpet. But in this episode on the podcast, which I'll get you to click in and listen to, we're going to go through what it takes to open and close sales. So we've discussed the island of Bali and those 3 elements that they have of omnipotence, gratitude, and service. So what I want you to do is I want you to consider that when you are so incredibly rock solid confident about what you are doing, what you are offering, I promise you, if you persevere, if you have the dedication, when you know why you are doing what you do, I promise you, you will succeed. It's just a matter of time. But what are so many people suffering with? They're suffering with, I don't want to come across like I'm a salesy, spammy salesperson, or I'm too spiritual. How can I be this spiritual-led person and then push for a sale? And, I say this very powerfully in the podcast that you're going to listen to soon. And that is that if you potentially have something that is so powerful, and you do, and you are not willing to offer it to the world, then you are not only doing yourself a disservice, you are doing the world a disservice and the people that are praying for you. So as you come in and listen to this podcast, please make sure you stay to the end, because if you're tuning in from Facebook at the moment, you'll need to go and listen in to the podcast that will be launched in a few hours from now. But I am describing what you can expect. And at the end, there's going to be an activation. That activation is going to send a golden light and this magic power from above through your entire system to activate you, to activate your success, to activate your business, to bring you into the power of what you truly, truly, truly want to open up. But when I believe and think about the struggles that so many coaches, healers, and leaders are having with their business and their service, usually it's around showing up. It's around feeling like an imposter, like not knowing which platform to show up on and feeling like they're not good enough. That is a huge one. And, perhaps just feeling very shy to come forward and actually promote what they have got. And this is what is going to really open up a whole new world for you as you listen to this podcast today. Now, when I go back to the basics of what I learned when I learned NLP, I recognize that beside the fact that you have the resources and tools to eliminate some of the biggest stuck patterns in your life that come from trauma, that come from, the challenges and the experiences, the big element of what NLP was designed for is the study of human excellence. So even though we sometimes get caught up in, you're going to release all of the trauma, you're going to get rid of all the stuck feelings and all the trapped emotions and all the feeling like you can't do what you really have been put on the earth to do. But what you really need to understand is what NLP is designed for. That is just part of the resource to take you to where you need to be. And where do you need to be? You need to be where you were born to be, and that is in your greatest power. So really, as you know, you think about neuro-linguistic programming, it is the study of human excellence. It is the study of what to be able to say to people to become an influencer. Now, here's another little element as I'm talking to you that happened during the time that I was on the island, because I was, of course, on a mission to set up something really powerful that is going to be presented to you guys really, really soon. But I also discovered that because there's a little bit of a language barrier, they are, because they're very clever people, they're actually very, it's almost like a survival instinct, but nothing passes them by. They seem relaxed, and they are relaxed, and they've got that beautiful kind of persona about them, but nothing passes them by. You can't fool them. They are watching every single thing that they are receiving in business, and they don't lose any money. They really don't. Like, they never steal. I don't believe Balinese people, especially the Balinese, I would trust them with my purse, my bank account, and even my grandchildren. I trust the Balinese that much. This is the way that it is. When they are talking, one of the things that they do also is they repeat back what you just said. So let's just say you say to them, I am looking for a brand new outfit that I can go on a TEDx talk and rock the stage with. And I need to look really super powerful. I want to look powerful, but not over the top, overdressed. I want to look relatable, and yet I want to have classy clothes. They would actually repeat that back to you. They wouldn't repeat everything, but they would repeat the most important things. Now, what is it about repeating back to people what they just said? Well, let's just put it to you this way. When I am doing a sales call with a person, I will always do what I've been trained as an NLP practitioner to do, and that is say back to them what they've just said. So if they're describing their business that they are a spiritual healer and they've been put on the earth to awaken humanity and to release them of their ancestral generational wounds, I would say that back. Okay, so you are an incredible spiritual healer that really feels so passionate about awakening people and giving them the freedom to release their energy of their ancestral DNA. Now, do you notice that I didn't say everything exactly the same, but the translation has got this magic of where it compels you to actually be thinking, oh my gosh, how did she know that? People forget what they say. So when someone says something to you and you say it back, I call this active listening. So if you want to know how to be a world-class coach, salesperson, healer, leader, influencer, learn active listening. And the way you will be able to master active listening is through listening to what people say and then vocalizing it back. So these are some of the key principles. But, as we now take you through this podcast, because we're going to hit the ground running, we're going to give you some really powerful resources, and then, wait for it, you are going to have an activation. So maybe I can prepare you for it and say, why not write down what you want to activate? As far as your service or whatever it is that you want to influence in, whether it is that you want to become an influencer within a team, or you've got a product that you want to be able to sell to the world, or you've got an offer to sell to the world, I want you to write down that listening to this podcast is going to open up the absolute zone of genius of your mind and inspire you to go forward. That can just be like an example. It's going to awaken something within you that is going to have you moving, activating, and rising at a level that you've never, ever felt before. Whatever your intention, I want you to enjoy this. So grab yourself your finest drink and get ready for this part of the red carpet with myself, bringing you the art of opening and closing sales calls and just being a great influencer. And I'll see you on the other side. Remember to subscribe. And if you've got a zone of genius that you want to really master and get that magic message out there, be sure to DM me. Go to terrymessenger.com or find me on social, and let's launch your legacy. Enjoy, guys.